Good morning. It is May the 9th, 2017. Time to kick off another trading day with our customary disclaimer. Hypothetical simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, looking at treasuries, the E-mini is poised to trade higher. Yesterday was a pause day. The high was set in Globex on the Macron election, and treasuries ended up yesterday with a B. They sold, and that was a pretty easy call. We had nothing going on in the stock markets yesterday. In fact, there was an article out on one of the websites that the VIX volatility hasn't been this low since 1993. That's 24 years ago. So it's really making it tough to day trade the E-mini. Okay, today is the 3-year auction. We do have markets that sell even with good 2- and 3-year auctions. So you can't count on the market being up just because it's a 3-year auction. Generally speaking, that is supportive, but you can't count on it being a higher day. What you can count on is a trading range during auction week, where the market will be a little higher, a little lower. Won't break if it goes lower without a major piece of news. They can't run it straight up without a big piece of news either, because they can't move the paper that they need to move. So our first little band of resistance is 125 even, 125.04. It's going to be sell 1. 7 to 11 will be sell 2. On the buy side, 25 to 29, buy 1. And then 17 to 21, buy 2. We don't have any news to speak of today to drive the trading. The small business optimism index was 104.5. It's out. It's released. Last month they were expecting 103.8. So that's a negative for treasuries. Jolts looking for 5.67 million. Last month it was 5.743. That's a pretty healthy number when it's over 5.5. Both minuses for treasuries. Wholesale trade plus 0.2, no impact. And then IBD tip economic optimism index at 52.3. This is Janet Yellen's favorite guide for which way the job market is going to go, the number of openings that are out there. So don't have a lot of news today to influence the trading. And to me, it's going to be the direction of the E-mini. If it busts through 2400, I imagine treasuries are going to test the low end of the range. The attractors at 124.17.5. So a limit buy at 124.18 would work. We also have this high volume area 25 to 26. So a limit buy in this area would be the first one, and it would allow them to get stops beneath that low. As far as the sell side goes, the last rotate up yesterday afternoon was 2.5, then 4, then 5.5, and 8. So 125.02 to 125.08 is where resistance is. And I imagine the market will have a hard time taking that out given the lack of news this morning. The E-mini breaks and sells, treasuries will trade higher to a point. They won't break out because of the auction process. You can't move the paper in a straight up market without an obvious piece of news. And we're not going to have that news today. Okay, looking at the 30-year. First resistance is going to be 8 to 12. Selling 15s to 19s. 23s to 27, sell 2. On the buy side, last rotate down stopped at 29. So 28 to the buck is number one. 21.25 buy one. 13 to 17 buy two. Gold was off overnight, and there's more selling in gold than there is in treasuries. I think 3 weeks ago we had $5 billion plus in 2 orders thrown into the market at the market, and that started the selling in gold. So we've got that low volume number at 21. We are pointed lower, so 20, 22 buy one. Got a high volume number at 13, so 14 to 16 will be buy two. We're going to lean against that high volume number right there. That's the attractor. On the sell side, we had the London high at 28, and then we had a high at 27, so got this high volume number at 27, so 27 to 30 sell one, and 33.35 sell two. Charlie the puppy from hell yesterday tore open a 20-pound bag of lump charcoal, which is tougher to clean up than briquettes. Dug out 3 planters and knocked over the 4th one, so I had to move all the planters out of the backyard into on the other side of the fence. But when I was cleaning up after him with a blower, a skill blower, one of the gas blowers, which puts out a lot of air, Charlie just went nuts. He attacked the tip of it, but he put his mouth over the end, and you ought to have seen his jowls flapping. Technically flews, but jowls, so everybody knows. It was pretty funny. I've never seen a dog in my life go after a blower and try to take it out, and then he'd get back 2 or 3 feet and he'd just crash into it, just snapping. Charlie is a maniac, but a lot of fun. That's the trouble. You know, puppies are just into everything, but you can't help loving them because they're just so enthusiastic at whatever it is that they're doing at the moment. Definitely a crazy boy. Okay, we have stops below 85. We have stops below 97. So we'll make 75 to 85 buy one on the assumption we can go a little bit lower here. I don't know if we can. And then 108.50 buy two. It looks that way, but you don't know. So we're going to put a question mark at 109. That could hold, but so 75 to 85 on the idea that they're going to get stops here and stops there. The attractor is at 109.39. So we've got sellers 20 to 30 right now, sell one, and we'll make 40 to 50, sell two. Now, Macron won. The euro spiked on the news of the election, and now it's back to business as usual. Who's going to pay for the pigs nations? And now that the EU has been preserved, they go right back to where they were. Who's going to pay for this mess? And the European Central Bank and Germany, the Bundesbank, and all the rest of them have been kicking the can down the road. Nobody wants to pick up the when this crisis first started, 1.2 trillion, and it's got to be much higher than that right now in sovereign debt. Okay, crude oil. We have a P. We've had buying behind us. We haven't broken. The fundamentals remain pretty poor. 46.50, 46.75, sell one. That picks up the overnight session high. 47 even, 47 and a quarter, sell 2. The APIs are tonight. They're looking for the 5th draw in a row. So we may not get much on the sell side. 45, 75, 46 by 1. And then 45 and a quarter, 45, 50 by 2. OPEC has rhetorically increased their support for the market by saying that the quotas will be rolled over at the end of June and go through the first quarter of 2018. Talk is cheap, but they're between the rock and the hard place with American shale oil production. That's just in time. It's there. It hangs over the market. They can shut it in anytime they want. And OPEC can't get away from that. And the United States is starting to export. We've been exporting products for a while, but now we can export crude. And we're a more reliable supplier and closer to the American markets than the Middle East is. So that would make sense for Canada, Mexico, and the United States to supply all of the Americas as opposed to Saudi Arabia. And we got the means to get there if the prices stay in the $45 to $50 range. Okay, on the E-mini, volatility is extremely low. I mean, the overnight session we trade 93 to 96 3 points. The mode is the same for both. So the first buy, let them get stops. I mean, it could be as high as 95. Might even be higher than that. They make us pay up on the morning. So 93, 95 by 1. 91.89 by 2. I don't see any reason to be a seller, past a day trade. Right now the institutions are long. They've been long since November the 9th. They've added to their positions, but they're not selling, and I don't think they're going to sell until Trump's tax proposal is out. So 2,400 plus or minus. If we can't get through 2,400, it's okay to sell failure there. And then the next place would be 4 to 6. Not too interested in the sell side of the market. Very, very quiet. Very, very difficult for day trading. In fact, gold and crude serve us much better these days. Every now and then we get a big day in the E-mini, but not often. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I will get busy on that, and I'll be back with you as soon as possible. We'll have the stats on the bonds about 7:21 Central, 7:22. We'll put those up and discuss them. Back with you then.